Have you ever wondered what would happen if Africa truly moved as one? Imagine a continent without the countless borders that chop up its potential, free from the endless trade barriers that stifle growth, and speaking with a single, powerful voice on the world stage. It might sound like a distant dream, right? But history has shown us that even the deepest divisions can be healed. Look at Germany. Not so long ago, it was a nation torn in two, east and west, separated by a physical wall, by conflicting ideologies, and by a deep-seated fear of one another. But then, in 1989, the impossible happened. The Berlin Wall fell, and by 1990, a new, united Germany was born from the rubble. That incredible story isn't just a piece of European history. It holds powerful, practical lessons for Africa today. When Germany reunified, it wasn't just a political maneuver. It was a profound act of belief. It was about people deciding, against all odds, that they were stronger together than they were apart. Let's break that down. The economic gap was huge. West Germany was a global economic powerhouse, highly industrialized and prosperous. East Germany, on the other hand, had struggled for decades under a stagnant, state-controlled economy. It would have been easy for the West to just absorb the East, leaving its people to fend for themselves. But that's not what they did. Instead of leaving the weaker side behind, they made a conscious and very expensive decision to invest in rebuilding it. They poured trillions of marks into modernizing infrastructure, balancing economic growth, and forging one national identity under a shared vision for the future. Now, pause for a moment and apply that to Africa. What if African countries started investing in each other with that same spirit? Imagine a reality where we stop competing and start complementing each other's strengths. Picture Nigeria's vast energy reserves, powering Kenya's booming tech hubs in Nairobi. Think about Uganda's rich agricultural lands, feeding the industrial factories of South Africa. Envision Ghana's mineral wealth, funding world-class education and research institutions across the entire continent. From Senegal to Somalia. And it's not just about economics. Think about the political power. When Germany reunited, it became the undisputed leader of Europe. A united Africa, with its 1.4 billion people, its immense natural resources, and its vibrant, youthful population, wouldn't just be a participant in global affairs, it would be a leader. Our collective voice would finally be strong enough to shape global policies on trade, climate change, and security, instead of just reacting to decisions made for us in Washington, Brussels, or Beijing. Of course, unity isn't easy. It demands immense sacrifice. The German reunification story wasn't a fairy tale. It was tough. It led to mass unemployment in the East as old industries collapsed. It came with a massive price tag, leading to higher taxes in the West. There were social tensions and years of difficult adjustment as to societies that had lived apart for 40 years learned to live together again, but they stayed committed. They kept their eyes on the prize, a stronger, more prosperous, and united nation. Their success shows us that unity is not a miracle that just happens. It's a choice. It's a deliberate decision that has to be followed by relentless, consistent, and sometimes painful action. Africa's dream of unity is not new. From Kwame Nkrumah's powerful Pan-African vision in the 1960s to the modern-day African Continental Free Trade Area, the ambition has always been there. But for this dream to become a reality, we have to move beyond rhetoric. We need to follow Germany's example of practical, committed action. African nations must start behaving less like rivals locked in a zero-sum game, and more like a family, where the success of one member is a victory for all. Germany proved that a wall of concrete and barbed wire can be torn down by the will of the people. The walls that divide Africa today are invisible, but they are just as real. They are walls of mistrust between neighbors, walls of corruption that steal our collective wealth, and walls of narrow self-interest that prioritize short-term national gains over long-term continental prosperity. If a nation literally split in two could rise from its own ashes to become a global leader, then Africa can absolutely do the same. We have the people, we have the resources, and we have the spirit. The future of this continent won't be written by a few powerful nations on other continents. It will be written by a united force of over 1 billion Africans working together. So let's unite, not tomorrow, not next year. Now, the German lesson is clear. Unity is built on a shared belief and cemented with action. If you believe in this vision, if you believe that Africa can rise, united and strong, just like Germany did, then show your support. Hit that like button, share this message with everyone you know, and subscribe for more stories that challenge our thinking and awaken the African spirit. Let's work together to turn the powerful lessons from the past into the fuel for our future. Thank you for watching.